Hi, we go live in the next 1 minute. We have had some technical issues on the other stream. So I'm waiting for students to join. So all you students from SSMC, a very warm welcome to all of you. We go live in the next 1 minute. So it's my humble request to all the other students who haven't joined in yet. Kindly share this new link with them, and we are going live in the next couple of minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Hi, welcome to all you students of Symbiosis School of Media and Communication. I practiced that like 5 times to get the full form correct. I'm extremely sorry for the technical snag that we all had to face. My name is RJ Ankit Piplani, and I welcome all of you on behalf of Symbiosis School of Media and Communication as we begin this new batch where you and I come together, and I get this privilege to welcome all of you. I also understand that a lot of parents would be joining us today from their respective homes. So मैं आप सबको शत शत कोटि कोटि प्रणाम कहता हूँ. I welcome all you parents out here as well and congratulate you as your ward begins his or her journey with brand Symbiosis. My association with brand Symbiosis goes back to 2008, since I took my first session, first lecture with them. But every time I come back to welcome all you students out here, it's always a pleasure. So I also understand that today is your first day and this is your first lecture of the session. And the only reason to get me over here is that it cannot get worse than this for the entire year. All your other professors are definitely going to educate you, entertain you, and engage you. I have come here in a different form altogether because of this lockdown. Also, it's too early in the morning and I almost bunked this session and we got delayed by a few minutes. But then I realized in an online session, if the professor goes missing, then everyone would come to know about it. But yes, if the students go missing, we have got a very unique way of having an attendance today. And, I have got the list of all the students out here. I shall be calling out names randomly, and you have to just say a quick hello in the comment section. So that's how we are going to have your attendance and mark you for this session. And don't worry, I don't have any list with me. So I welcome all of you one more time. And just in case if you have a query, you can write it down in the comment section. While I'm taking my session, I have a team which is taking care of all the questions, making note of all the questions. I shall answer as many of them as many possible. So keep writing in the comment section any queries, any questions that you would have. Also, this is YouTube live, so that's the only way for us to interact. Um, so yes, I'm just going to tell you why I'm here, why you are here. I welcome all of you on behalf of Symbiosis School of Media and Communication. My name is RJ Ankit Piplani, an engineer and an MBA by degree. So I worked with Infosys, Wipro, Aditya Birla Group at middle and senior management positions, but then decided passion is bigger than everything. I became a radio jockey with one of the leading radio stations, and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, the big B of Bollywood, has conferred upon me the title of the Big A of anchoring. So it's a matter of great honor to come down here and take this session, this induction session for all you prospective MBA graduates, postgraduates, the talent of India and the world for the future. And for all those who watched the movie Bahubali, I was hosting the world premiere and the world promotions of the movie Bahubali, the conclusion in the United Kingdom, representing India in this prestigious assignment. So, yeah, so that is what I do. I host events, and just to show you a small little glimpse of what we do, this is for all of you. This is my work, and I hope you enjoy watching this one. 111 seconds only.
महेंद्र बाहुबली
साम्राज्यं सर्वोत्तम अजेयं यशोदिशाय आज्ञया सब इसको करते प्रणाम जलाटवीगलज्जलं प्रवाहपावितस्थले गलेवलं विलम्बिताम्बुजं तुङ्गमालिका डमड्डमड्डमग्निनादवड्डमरुवयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं प्रणोतु नः शिवः शिवम्
गली गली तेरी लाह जली जियो रे
So, yes, that was my journey. And my journey might just help you as you start, as you begin today on getting your degree in post graduation, getting some experience in the industry in these challenging times. My journey, which has had its own sets of challenges, opportunities, research, hard work, and a lot of good luck as well, would maybe help you understand on how do you go about it. And therefore, I believe that each one of you present over here is special. Each one of you present over here is extremely talented. And I welcome you to this session. Discover the little spark in you, that little window of opportunity, that little window of talent each one of you has, which can make a world of difference not only to yourself, but to the society, this country, and the world overall. So, I begin my journey. But before I begin my journey, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. How many of you have traveled by train, traveled by local trains, traveled by metros in our cities? I'm sure most of us have done that. So let's understand, that crowd which is standing on the crowded railway platform. You get inside the train which moves from one point to the other, pre-programmed, pre-planned, a set source of origin, a set destination. It's running on the same track at the same time, at the same speed, governed by the authorities, governed by the rules of the world, moving from point A to point B like a machine on a daily basis. What is the difference between a train and a human being? A train is pre programmed, pre planned, governed by someone, whereas we are free spirited. We can decide our own journey, we can decide our own destinations. All of us are on the same platform, but tomorrow we can create our own story. So don't be like the train, be like a human being, which is what you were designed and devised to create magical experiences. Now, when you board a train, you get through that rush, and you get a chance to hold the bar which is outside and get that breath of fresh air. It's your choice that you want to stand outside holding the pole and getting that breath of fresh air, or move inside where you have got those handles. And on one handle, which is meant for maybe one or two individuals, you have three, four, or five individuals holding one particular handle as you sway from left to right. But to maintain your balance, either you should have the capability or capacity to stand on yourself, or be ready to take support where four or five other people are also clinging and trying to get their own set of support. But you will have to make that effort. Then you have another choice: standing at the door, holding the pole, holding the handles, or pushing everyone, requesting everyone, navigating through that rush, and trying to get a seat for yourself, a seat which is meant for three, but then generally the fourth one just squeezes on to create a little space for himself or herself. But you have to make this journey from the platform to the pole to the handles and move inside and get a seat for yourself, because no one in the local train is going to shout out and say that I'm going to get up and you sit. मैं खड़ा हो जाता हूं, आप मेरी जगह पर बैठ जाइए, क्योंकि हमारे देश में जो सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है वो मुद्दा है सीट का. So you have to create your own space, whether it's on the handles or it's on the seat, which is in the local train. There is no one else who's going to come here and create this effort for you as you start your journey today from point A to point B. Let the point be variable for each one of you, but make that effort to create your own space to get your own seat. So now that I have set the context of your journey, set the context of the effort that is going to go in, let me begin my journey. The two things which have helped me immensely in discovering the little spark in me, the two things which have helped me immensely are content and confidence. Content and confidence. What content I had, and the confidence with which I could deliver that content. But then there is a story behind content and confidence. And I'm going to narrate three variable different stories at different junctures of my life where my content and confidence were questioned, where my content and confidence were motivated, were propagated in a way that I am the best, and there were instances when they were challenged as if they don't stand a chance. And these are challenges which we are going to face, irrespective of whether you become an entrepreneur tomorrow, you stay a student for life, you work with the corporate world. At each instance of time, there are going to be question marks, there are going to be opportunities from the world which are going to be presented to you. But the two things which will help you the most are going to be content and confidence. So the first instance, so I'm going to narrate three instances to you. The first instance was when I was a little kid in my ninth standard, and my father was working with Bhabha Atomic Research Center, the premium research scientific organization in our country. And my father was a scientific officer with this premium institution, with this prestigious institution. While he was working there, we had an annual day which was organized for Bhabha Atomic Research Center. And we had the best of the scientists, the researchers, the top notch engineers of the world. And that's how I became an engineer as well, who were present for that annual day of Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Just a few days before this, I had participated in a competition which is called as Bombay Arts and Sports Competition. It was Bombay then and Mumbai now. Bombay Arts and Sports Competition. And in this competition, you have various categories. You have cultural, which is dancing, which is singing, handwriting competition, elocution competition, speech competition, jokes telling competition, poetry recital competition. So I participated in jokes telling competition, narrating a joke. So you get a minute or a couple of minutes to narrate a joke of your choice. I did not win this competition. I ended up coming second in this competition. But when I came back, I shared the experience with my father, and he gave me inputs on why, what was the reason I came second, and that was a big learning phase in itself. But Along with that, I had learned so many other jokes from so many other contenders who had come there, who had participated in this joke telling competition. I came back home, whoever would come home, my parents would tell me, wo wala joke sunana, ye wala joke sunana. And I was that joke ka pitara. Anyone, any guest who was coming home, I was entertaining them with these set of jokes which I had learned over a period of time. Now we are standing here in this Bhabha Atomic Research Center annual day, and my father says, would you like to go on stage and narrate those jokes? You already have a collection with you which you have been practicing at home in front of our guests. Why don't you go on stage and hold the mic and go there and go for it? Imagine that you're talking to me. And as a little kid, as a little boy, I had very little sense of what is stage fear. I had very little sense of what is crowd. I had very little sense of, that I'm performing in front of researchers, scientists, and the top shot directors from the research and the science world. I went onto the stage. I narrated my set of jokes. Everyone clapped, everyone enjoyed, everyone applauded. But this was a piece of confidence which my father instilled in my content, which I had created over a period of time, unknowingly through practice, and my confidence, that little push that my father gave me to go on stage and give my first shot to glory, holding a mic and narrating in front of an esteemed audience. This was a bit of a confidence. The main boost came the next year because from the next year for the annual day from Bhabha Atomic Research Center, there were two invites which came in from the most prestigious organization of India, rather one of the most prestigious organizations of India in the space of research and science. There were two invites which came the next year, one for my respected father and the second in the name of his son, Ankit Piplani, inviting him to perform on stage for the annual day by Bhabha Atomic Research Center. For a little kid, that little invite means the world. So that was content and confidence giving me an initial boost in my early days. I'm going to take you to the second instance when I was on radio, when I was on air. I was doing my MBA and I had the opportunity to go on air for a pretty long stint at prime time. But my partner and I we shared a very good understanding. My partner did not know how to speak Hindi. So what we used to do is we used to translate our English scripts into Hindi, and I used to tell him these few lines you can just narrate them in Hindi. So for example, you are listening to becomes आप सुन रहे हैं, आप जीत चुके हैं gift hamper, you have just won yourself a gift hamper. So these are standard lines which he learned in Hindi, and he had a wonderful voice. The two of us, the first day on air. I am sharing an example of you with you on the first day that we were on air on radio. So we have created our content. We have spoken to each other on what he's going to speak, what I'm going to speak, and what is our style of narration, what is the content that we are going to deliver on the first day on air with millions of listeners listening to us on primetime radio in the hustle bustle of Mumbai. So the two of us, we are all excited. We go to the radio station, and it's approximately 15 to 20 minutes before we go live at around 5 p.m. 5 to 8 p.m. was our show. And the first slot is 40 seconds. Jockeys speak for 40 seconds, 50 seconds, a minute, or max 1.5 minutes generally. But this particular slot was of 40 seconds, the first slot on radio. And yes, as youngsters, you're excited that the world is going to listen to you. Your parents are going to listen to you. Your relatives, your friends, everyone is going to be tuned in. And your professors from your college, your classmates, your friends in college, everyone is going to be listening to you. And it's an opportunity of a lifetime. And you don't want to miss or mess with the first opportunity on air. We walk into the radio station, and the very first question we have been asked by one of our seniors is, where is your script? Where is your content? And the two of us say it's in our head. The next question is, if you haven't written it on paper, do you think you're going to remember this under pressure? We say, yes, we are going to remember. The jockey says, the senior jockey, radio jockey says, this is your first day, first moment on air. I doubt you will remember anything. Write it down on paper. We are just 5 minutes away from going live. So we had content, we had practiced it, rehearsed it so many times, and there is a question mark which has been put in our minds, respective minds, just before we are going to hit the moment of a lifetime, just before we are about to go on air for the first time as little kids. Question mark on your content, question mark on your confidence. Ha, difficult. So we started jotting it down because we didn't want to let our senior down. And we started jotting down our points, and we know time is ticking out. It's 5, and we have to go live in some time. So my partner and I, he doesn't understand Hindi, how many words to include, how many words not to include. It's chaos. It's chaos. He's noting down his part, my part. The producer comes in and the producer says, you have to make a sponsor announcement. There is an India Australia match which is happening live. So we have television which has been placed on mute in the radio station. There is an India Australia match which is in the last over. And in case if the results are out in that over, we have to announce within the next 40 seconds. There is an announcement which has to be made by the government of India, which has to be inculcated and incorporated in those 40 seconds. There is chaos. Brand name, sponsor name, government announcement, the India Australia match, my content in my head, my partner's content in his head, and the two pieces of paper which have got something scribbled on it, not rehearsed, not practiced, but we are going live at 5 p.m. for 40 seconds of fame, which we're going to remember for a lifetime. We go live on air. He says something, I say something. We begin with, the show is present to you by the brand name, by the sponsor. We talk, we try to incorporate the government announcement. And as I'm about to hit the volume button saying, this is the first song dedicated to you on this channel from all of us, from both of us. At the 39 second, my partner shouts out from there, and India wins. I still remember those words on the 39 second as I'm about to fade down the volumes on the console. My partner shouts out, and India wins. Content, confidence, question marks, chaos, and then the time which will always keep running ahead of you, but you cannot give up. You cannot put your foot down saying, I will not do it. You have to ensure the show continues. So this was the second example which might help you in your corporate world, where you might be ready with a presentation with all the confidence, and your peer, your boss tells you this presentation is good for nothing, or the customer is instead of the customer being from a particular nationality, he's changed from a particular nationality. Instead of him having functional knowledge, he has technical knowledge. So we're going to come to all of that in some time. The third instance which I would like to share with all of you is a concert which I was hosting, and I was hosting it for a corporate company, and it had a capacity crowd waiting there for this superstar to come there and sing for all of them. This corporate company is known for starting the event on time. Starting the event on time. So I was told that I would be on stage at 6 p.m. and this singer would be on stage at 6:30 p.m. And it's a capacity crowd. It's a capacity crowd which runs into lakhs. I get onto the stage at 6 p.m. sharp. I start interacting with this audience at the peak of my energy, and I have content in the back of my mind which is good enough to engage and entertain this audience for 30 minutes. It's 6:30, the singer has not come. It's 6:40, 6:45, I continue to entertain the audience. At 7, the singer has not come. At 7:30, 7:45, I have people performing on stage, and I am talking to the HR of the company, trying to understand how much time more would it take for the singer to come. And I understand that the directors of this company are in a meeting with the clients who have come from the US and the UK, and the meeting is going to continue till 8 p.m. And once the directors and these delegates, these guests from the US and UK come and be a part of this concert, the CEO, the directors, only then would this singer come in the fleet of his luxury vehicles and come and sing and be a part of this concert. So I asked her the next question: what time does this meeting end? And she mentioned that the meeting ends at 8 p.m. sharp in the campus. They would come to the grounds where this event is happening, and be a part of this event. At 8 p.m. sharp, the meeting ended. At 8:10, 8:15, the CEOs and the delegates, they came onto the stage, they came onto the ground, and at 8:20, the singer came in, entered into the ground, and he was ready to take center stage when he told me backstage that I saw what you did for these 10 minutes, holding a capacity crowd for 2 hours, 20 minutes at the pinnacle of your energy is a daunting, is a challenging task. And I know how you went about it. Thank you. You are a talent. Now, the instance that I've shared with you is that in your mind, you are ready for content for just 30 minutes. But then you realize it has to be pushed to 45 minutes, to 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes, where your confidence takes over your content. You're so confident in life that you know that you will take over your content because the crowd loves you. The energy that you have created in the crowd is so high that everyone over there is enjoying, everyone over there is getting entertained, everyone over there is getting engaged at the pinnacle of their energy, and everyone is getting an adrenaline rush and is loving you more than what they loved you before. So you don't want time to stop because your confidence now believes that you can entertain them for the whole night. But yes, 2 hours, 20 minutes with the capacity crowd when you are prepared for 30 minutes just boosts your confidence for a lifetime. So, content and confidence, I've played around and I've given you three instances. One, as a little kid at Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Second, when it was our first day on radio. And the third instance that I have shared with all of you is when I was hosting this concert and there was a considerable delay. So these are the three instances which I have shared with all of you on how to get your content and confidence in place. Just in case if you have any questions, just keep typing them down in the comment section and I shall try to answer as many as possible. But I'm going to quickly move on to the next thing. Once you have your content and confidence ready, we have a 150 crore population in our country. You're going to face competition. There is no one in the train who told you, yaar, meri seat pe baith jao. Similarly, there is no one who's going to say, you deliver your content with your confidence and I'm going to sit back and enjoy. So when I come back to my journey in terms of the numbers and the competition that I face or that I faced or we face on a daily basis. So the year I graduated, I did my engineering, I completed my engineering, my software computer engineering, and I was a good engineer. Then I still continue to believe that engineering is the most beautiful thing which happened to me. So when I did my software engineering, my computer engineering, there were 2 lakh engineers who graduated in the same year. I went on to join Infosys, and we were sitting in that sprawling campus of Infosys, Mysore, in that auditorium, the state of the art auditorium. We were 1100 of us sitting in that induction session of Infosys. I came back to do my MBA. There were 300 of us who were in the same batch, trying to become MBA graduates, postgraduates in the field of marketing. I came back to join Wipro, which was a campus placement. We were 100 of us from all over the country who joined in the same batch. I went on to join Aditya Birla Group, reporting to the president of ABG, Aditya Birla Group, and working in sync with a team with 5,000 odd candidates reporting to me. And we were 5 of us who had made similar career moves after joining Wipro. 2 of us went on to become radio jockeys at prime time radio channels, and one, luckily, it was me who went on to chase his passion, pursue his dreams, become an anchor, stand next to Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, witness his charm, his radiating smile up and close, be conferred upon the praise, the title of the big A of anchoring by the big B of Bollywood, bow down to take his blessings, get up to be getting a warm hug in the mighty outstretched arms from the Shehenshah of Bollywood. That moment is eternal. That moment is divine. And it's going to stay with me for a lifetime. But yes, there is competition, there are numbers, and there are opportunities. And then there is going to be that little spark which is going to help you keep moving ahead. So while this happened, the big year of anchoring, we kept moving ahead. Assignments kept coming in, and I'm going to talk to you about as you keep moving ahead, you will start getting recognition in the field with the field which you pursue with dedication and perseverance. So the recognition, one of the recognitions that I'm going to share with you is when we got to represent India at the prestigious assignment in the United Kingdom. In the year 2017, India was completing 70 years of independence from Britain, and India wanted the best of the movies to be showcased as a part of the world premiere at the British Film Festival to be showcased in the United Kingdom. And one of the movies which had done really well at that point of time was Bahubali, the part one, which was released in early 2015, and the part two, Bahubali, the conclusion, which was released in 2017. And I was nominated as the guest of honor from India to represent our country in a foreign land and host the world premiere and the world promotions of this mega epic, of this magnanimous experience called as Bahubali, the conclusion in the United Kingdom. I was also interviewed on BBC World as the guest of honor from India. We had the British officials who stood up, who gave us a guard of honor. The Indian national anthem was played, the Indian flag was hoisted, and everyone stood up singing along with us and celebrating along with us. And for the Herculean effort that we had put in, BBC World recognized our efforts and hailed Bahubali, the conclusion, as the top 10 grossing movies of all the movies released in the United Kingdom in a lifetime. So it was a matter of great honor to be a part of this prestigious assignment. But when we stepped on to the soil, we thought Bahubali is a big name. Everyone's heard about Bahubali. But the moment we reached there in the United Kingdom, we realized that our target audience are not the Asians. Our target audience are the English, the Welsh, or the Scottish audiences who have no idea about Indian movies, who have not heard about Bahubali, who have very little interest of for a movie of Indian origin. And here we are representing our country, trying to entertain them and create a mark for a movie as big as Bahubali in our minds. So, from London to Edinburgh, we started entertaining them, educating them, engaging them on things, on experiences around the movie Bahubali, customized to the culture of United Kingdom, customized to the English culture, trying to create experiences at the Wembley, at private spaces, at corporate spaces, 6,000, 8,000, 40,000 audiences. And as we moved across the entire country, Bahubali became a name, and everyone started calling us at the end of this 1.5 month campaign. The audiences started recognizing me as Bahubali, Bahubali. Wherever we would go, they would shout out Bahubali, Bahubali. So it was a matter of great honor to be a part of this assignment. But then you realize how the journey begins with an absolute nothing for a brand as big as Bahubali. And as you move across, BBC World and others come together to partner along with you to make it a frenzy, a national pride. And when you make your country proud in a foreign nation, when you create a name for yourself and your brand in a foreign nation, you know you have done something special. So that was the recognition that I have spoken to you about. So I'm going to leave you with a few inputs, with a few points, and that input comes from the fact that once you start getting recognition, once you start getting fame, there is a lot of feedback which is going to continue coming in, which is going to start from the journey. Whenever you begin your journey, whenever you are in the middle of your journey, or when you think you have reached the pinnacle of your journey, there is going to be feedback which is going to continue coming in from your loved ones, from your well wishers, from your friends, and from people unknown from all over the world, because advice is free. But remember one thing, do ensure that the feedback that you take, the way you take your feedback, it's good to have constructive criticism, because after a particular point of time, feedback which creates negative energy is a big no no. So please do ensure that you are taking feedback from the right set of people, from the right set of audiences. It's okay to get criticism, but it's not okay to get only criticism unless you are on an absolutely wrong path. So please do ensure that the feedback that you take is from the right sources and it makes the right sense to you for you to reach your destination or for you to continue your journey on the right path. because you might be the juiciest and the ripest strawberry in this world. You might be the juiciest and the ripest strawberry in this world. But then there is someone somewhere sitting in some corner of this world who just hates strawberries. So there is absolutely no problem with you. There is absolutely no problem with you. When a flower or a plant is trying to blossom and is unable to do so, when a flower or a plant is trying to blossom and is unable to do so, you don't tell the plant, why are you not growing? You try to create an atmosphere for the plant, for the flower, which is congenial and convenient for the flower to blossom in this world. Do that with yourself. Don't be too harsh, too rude, too demanding with yourself. It's okay to take it a little easy, but be true to yourself. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to repeat your set of mistakes. So ensure that every time you make a mistake, there is a learning from that mistake and you make the best out of it. As you begin this journey today, I'm going to leave you with an experience that might help you stay positive, optimistic for the rest of your lifetime. We are all in challenging times right now. We are all sitting at home and we are all undergoing education in a format which you and I never imagined would be the new norm. Everyone in this world is facing a challenge in some way or the other, be it staying at home, be it exploring new avenues, be it exploring new ventures, be it the ventures which were established or which have come to a standstill. But I'm going to leave you with a narrative which might help you stay motivated and understand on why it's important to continue going forward. So, how many of us watched the India Pakistan World Cup final, T20 World Cup final in the year 2007? All of you would have been youngsters just like me. And with all the enthusiasm, because it's an India Pakistan T20 World Cup final in the year 2007, all of us would have glued in our parents, our neighbors, our relatives, all of us, and there was madness, there was craze, there was frenzy, the first of its kind. India Pakistan T20 World Cup final. For the first time, the Asian giants meet in a final. We read out newspapers, we read out everything on social media, on what was happening, and we did not want to lose that game. So India ended up scoring 157 odd runs. Gautam Gambhir with 75 odd, Rohit Sharma 16 balls, 30 odd runs, and we made 157 runs. On that day, from the experience that we had in the tournament, we knew that 157 were a few runs short as compared to the standards that were there in the tournament. And all of us were tensed. We were worried because we didn't want to lose a final, point one. Point two, we did not want to lose a final to Pakistan. Tension, worry, very little score, more tension. Pakistan started their innings, and Imran Nazir went berserk. He was hitting to all parts of the ground, and we thought that our chances today are going to be very less. Tension, worry, anxiety, stress. Pakistan lost a few quick wickets, but Misbah ul Haq had other plans. He started hitting Harbhajan Singh to all parts of the ground. He hit him for three sixes in an over, and we knew that if Pakistan pulls it off from here, it's going to be terrible for all of us. We might not sleep for the next so many days because losing to Pakistan is a big no no. Joginder Singh came to bowl the last over when Harbhajan Singh had one over left with him, and we thought, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, what are you doing? You don't give an over to Joginder Singh. You should have Joginder Sharma. You don't give it to Joginder Sharma. You should have given it to Harbhajan Singh. And the first ball or the second ball went for a six, and we said, it's over. But then Misbah went for the scoop, and there was a catch which was taken, and we thought it was going up and beyond, but the catch was taken. We all danced, we all celebrated because India had been T20 World Cup champions in 2001, 2007, 2007, and Pakistan had lost it. We were happy, we celebrated. There was joy around. Today, when we sit back and we watch the highlights of this India Pakistan T20 World Cup, India scored 157. We say no worries. Imran Nazir starts hitting to all parts of the ground. We say no problem. Pakistan lose a few wickets. Misbah ul Haq starts hitting for sixes. He hits Harbhajan Singh for 360s. We say, हाँ यार अभी पीछे मारेगा and he'll be caught and he will get out and India is going to win this World Cup. Because we know the result, we are not stressed. We are not worried. Because we know the result, we are motivated. We are happy even when the opposition is hitting you for sixes, even if the opposition is Pakistan. The same thing is with life. If you know that tomorrow is going to be better than today, if all your efforts are today are going to culminate into a better tomorrow, then what are you worried about? Just be confident. March on. Because in flashback, life is always sorted. In flashback, life is always sorted. When you're going to go forward after a couple of years, 3 years, 10 years, you're going to look back at this situation where we are all learning from home, where we are all trying to discover the little sparks in ourselves and try something new. You will realize that this phase was also sorted because it taught you something new. So in flashback, life is always sorted. So there is no point taking a lot of stress, worrying about small little things which are not in your control. I'm going to leave you with the last line, and I hope it helps you explore new avenues within you, explore new talents around you, and explore ventures which will make you create a mark in your lives for yourself, maybe for the country and for the rest of the world, because you are the talent that is going to create a difference for all of us. सीढ़ियां उनके लिए हैं जिन्हें छत पर जाना है. सीढ़ियां उनके लिए हैं जिन्हें छत पर जाना है. आसमानों पर है नजर जिनकी, उन्हें अपना पथ खुद बनाना है. So make your own way, create your own journey, and be the master of your own destiny. Because if you are running around, you have a chance that you can run anywhere. But if you're in a train, you know you can only go from point A to point B, pre-programmed, pre-decided, and you have a fixed source and a destined destination. But each one of you sitting over here, while we are all beginning on the same platform, I would want each one of you to carve your own destinations because that is the difference between a human being and a train. So yes, I'm going to take questions now. Thank you for being, so kind and being a part of this session. In case if you have any further questions as well, you can always write. You feel passionate about becoming a radio jockey. Public speaking, like I mentioned, from a young age, I enjoyed the stage. I was put onto stage because I had a command over my language. I used to mimic a lot of individuals, and it fascinated me, mimicking individuals, mimicking talents. So, along with my MBA, I had this opportunity to go on air. And when you get opportunities like these, which are opportunities of a lifetime, there was a competition which was held in Mumbai where we had, multiple colleges who participated, multiple students from each college who participated. My friend and I, we got together. It was a college competition, and the best would go on air. We went on air, and then you have these vote for me, mere liye vote karo, like you have it in the premium dance competitions or the singing competitions. At that point of time, we had less of internet and more of the normal messaging. So when we would travel in the local train, I would stand at one end, my partner would stand at the other end. We would shout from each end because it was always packed in Mumbai, and shout out from one end saying कि आज रेडियो पे हम क्या बात करेंगे, and everyone around would know that we are going to be live on air, and they used to ask us for a few autographs. They used to ask us for a few autographs, and I used to sign autographs in the local train. Tell kids that tell your mommy, tell your daddy to tune in. There used to be moms and fathers who used to come saying that my son or my daughter is a big fan of you. They used to wait outside the radio station to meet us, to say a quick hello to us. So as kids, you enjoy this fame, you enjoy this status where you are able to influence young minds, where you're able to motivate young minds and help them achieve their destination, help them achieve their destiny in a way which you have struggled to achieve through guidance and motivation that you have received from your elders or your well wishers. So that's how I got motivated to be on air, and we ended up winning that competition and being prime time radio jockey hosts. And we used to get our professors live on air, and we used to bunk sessions and go on air because it was compulsory to go on air. And we used to get our professor on air, and these professors used to teach at multiple other colleges, like how I teach right now with Symbiosis. I'm a visiting faculty with a few IMs. So we used to take those professors, loved professors in multiple colleges on air, and they used to say, "अरे पिपलानी कहाँ पर है?" So I used to say, "Sir, आप air पर हैं, आप please जरा मेरे से थोड़ा अच्छे से बात कीजिए." And for all the other kids, a professor and a student dialogue on air live was a fascination. A professor scolding a radio jockey on air. तेरा attendance बहुत कम है, तेरे को पास नहीं करूंगा। सर प्लीज सर, आपके सब बच्चे आपको सुन रहे हैं, आपके लिए इतनी इतनी अच्छी लाइंस बोल रहे हैं, सर प्लीज मुझे पास कर दो। सो अ स्टूडेंट रिक्वेस्टिंग अ प्रोफेसर ऑन एयर, सर प्लीज मुझे पास कर दो, सर प्लीज मेरे अटेंडेंस के लिए मेरे मार्क्स मत काटो। So all these experiences, all these conversations which we all like to listen became a rage in Mumbai, and became experiences which we all enjoyed, and that was the beginning of my journey on air. And just in the morning today, I was recollecting while we are doing these virtual, these online sessions, these online events that I am hosting right now for corporates, for social giants. It gives me a feel of being on radio. It feels like I'm talking to a system. I have a console, I have a sound control, and I'm imagining that millions, lakhs of individuals in the city are listening to me. Or right now, I'm imagining that the students are actually tuned in, listening to me and learning from my experiences. So, radio helped me talk to the closed walls, and that is how I'm going to remember this experience of this lockdown where I spoke to the closed walls and imagine that thousands and millions of individuals are actually listening to me. So, yes, you will always get an opportunity to question, how do you handle procrastination so that you can stay in the game? You should know you should know what channelizes you, what kind of energy you have. For example, let me quote Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli has a lot of nervous energy. When we go on stage, we have a lot of nervous energy. While I'm talking to you right now, before the start of the session, I had nervous energy. How do you channelize this nervous energy? It is okay to be nervous, but what do you do with that nervous energy is very important. So when Virat Kohli goes out to bat, he talks to the opposition. He tries to be a little aggressive. He tries to be a little vocal. And that is what channelizes his nervous energy into top class performance. Gautam Gambhir, a quiet gentleman outside the field, but on the field, he would always be aggressive. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, nervous energy. You have a billion expectations. When you go out to bat, they start looking within. Some start looking outside, some start looking within. There'll be a lot of you who would do a lot of research before creating your first product, first service, or trying your first experiment in life. And then there would be a lot of you who would say, Chalo, let's do it. Let's make mistakes. Let's learn, let's make it better. If you are in a process of becoming a perfectionist and then delivering, I wouldn't categorize it as procrastination. But if you are just lazing around doing nothing, aaj nahi, kal nahi, parso kar lenge, if you have an idea, it's today. Because tomorrow the world has changed. You have already seen in this scenario how much the world has changed, how much business have been impacted, how many businesses have been impacted, and how much they have been impacted. So there are no tomorrows. The world is changing on a daily basis. If you have an idea, if you know how to execute it, if you think it's going to be good, go for it today. Don't just sit around waiting for an opportunity to be lost, because if someone else does it, you're going to feel really bad about it. Because if you have the talent, which I believe each one of us has some hidden talent, some unknown talent, which either you don't know or the world doesn't know. You're already famous, in front of your parents, in front of your loved ones, in your circle, in your relatives. The only thing you have to have is a little bit of confidence in your content and go for gold, because there are no tomorrows. There are no tomorrows. Go for it. If you fail, if you make mistakes, it's okay. But don't repeat your mistakes, like what I mentioned earlier. Okay, so that was Vaishnavi Rai. And I'm going to take one more question. Namrata, what a question. How do you continue being creative all the time? How many of you believe that the food that your mom creates, cooks for you, or your father creates, or anyone in your house, your cook creates, is tasty, is delicious, and has a different element all the time? Do you think all the ideas in their mind were their creation? The answer is no. The answer is no. All of us learned Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But if I were to tell you, all you students out here, or all we Indians, or everyone in the world, to narrate Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, we're going to have a different tone, a different variation with which Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star is going to be delivered or narrated to all of us. Which means, irrespective of our starts, irrespective of the point A where we began, our point B's, our destinations, our journeys are different. Our experiences are different. What we keep in our mind, what we recall at the time of our performance are going to be different. If you are not creative, if you are not creative, learn creativity. If you are not creative, learn creativity. For example, if you like a friend of yours, the way he delivers or narrates a particular PowerPoint presentation in your MBA session, and you do not have those skill sets, try learning from him. In a couple of times, you might become a closer or a better version of yourself. Look at the way he or she researches in the background to come up with that kind of content. You're not creative yourself, but we are all learning creativity in our own ways. There is no one who was born with knowledge. Knowledge today is available free on Google. How to go about it, how to use it is totally up to you. Anything that you do would automatically be unique. Do you term it as creative? Do you term it as being different? Or are you trying to do to impress someone? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If you are trying to do something to impress someone, but if you know you are unique, the only thing you need to change is a little bit of packaging. Packaging can be learned over a period of time. So, this question on being creative, I would rather say learn creativity. Anything that you are passionate about, learn it. There is nothing that you cannot learn. It's only a mental block that now I cannot learn. remove that mental block, and you can learn anything, including creativity. So, so, the audience is there in front of you. You don't want to leave an audience. You don't want to tell the audience that, okay, bye, my time is up. I enjoy being in front of an audience. That's the reason I got onto the stage. The love for the stage, the love for the audience, the love for the energy, the love for the experience and the extravaganzas that you can create, the pinnacle of energy that you can create with lakhs of audience over there shouting and cheering for you. You actually do not want to get down from the stage. So there is no point in time where I had to recollect or recompose myself, because I was never sad with the fact that the singer is not coming. I was enjoying my moment of truth, my moment of fame in front of this capacity audience, which was enjoying with me. So it doesn't matter when you come, you enjoy the process. You say, yes, I'm going to do this, and handle everything in the back end. I am going to narrate this from the famous movie Dawn. This dialogue which says that police go, there's the scene where the cops have come to arrest Dawn, and the Dawn says कि तुम्हें पता है कि ये बंदूक खाली है, मुझे पता है कि ये बंदूक खाली है, लेकिन पुलिस को नहीं पता कि ये बंदूक खाली है. Similarly, you know you are tensed, I know you are tensed, but the audience never knows that you are tensed. So therefore, the show must go. With this, I say thank you. Discover the little spark in you. Keep marching ahead. And I wish you all the success as you begin your journey today with Symbiosis School of Media and Communication. That's the sixth time I've practiced since today morning. And I love being associated with Symbiosis, brand Symbiosis. 13th year going strong. May all of you come back and make a difference to many more lives in your journey as you go forward. Keep motivating, keep inspiring. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.